Hey everyone, it's Melissa Metcalf-Leroy here, coming to you live from my kitchen on Sunday afternoon for week 17 of the 2020 52-week Eating Healthy Challenge. Thanks so much for joining me. The first recipe that we have for you today is going to be our breakfast casserole. So I love breakfast casseroles. This is one of the easiest ways to make ahead a grab-and-go healthy breakfast for you and your family. It's also a great way to do modifications. So if you know that there's some ingredients that your family does not like, or in my situation, some ingredients that I cannot eat, then I can easily modify them. So this recipe actually had some of those ingredients that my family didn't care for and or that I modified. So let's get started with some of those ingredients. Here we go. All right, so as you can see here, we've got some ingredients already happening here. I've got 7 farm fresh eggs here in the bowl. To that, I'm going to add half of a cup of unsweetened almond milk. I'm just gonna whisk this. Just beat these eggs a little bit, whisk them up with a fork. All right, and I'm gonna set that aside for just a moment, let that settle. I have a 9 by 13 glass casserole dish here that I have just quickly sprayed with some unflavored coconut oil. To this, I am going to add 20 ounces of frozen cauliflower florets. So this original recipe originally called for 20 ounces of frozen potatoes. So if you've ever heard me before and or Dr. Bacone, you've watched us on TV, potatoes are not a vegetable, they're a starch. So in order to cut the carbs here, and then also, you know, I look at food logs every single day, and one of the main ingredients that is missing from a lot of food logs are vegetables. So this is a great way to get vegetables into your diet and kind of disguise them if your family's not a big fan of cauliflower. So anytime I have a recipe that calls for potatoes that I'm going to modify to make healthy, such as this one, I'm going to substitute cauliflower in that recipe. I've also browned some all-natural organic breakfast sausage here. So I put it on the just on low heat. And so that way I use the natural grease. So I don't have to add any oil, any butter, anything like that. I'm just using the natural grease that comes from that. And you can still see on the paper towel here that there was some leftover grease. There was also some leftover grease in the pan, and that's what I used to then saute the onions after the fact. Now this recipe also originally called for 1 whole onion for this entire dish. My family is just really not a big fan of onion, and onion, as you know, is full of sugar. So I cut that in half and just did half of a large onion, and it was left over from another recipe that I had in the refrigerator. So that worked out perfectly. And so once again, I didn't have to add any additional oil and or butter. I just used the little bit of grease that was left over from browning the sausage in the pan and sauteed these. So I'm just gonna kind of divvy this up here just a little bit. The recipe also called for extra sharp cheddar cheese, 8 ounces of cheddar cheese for this recipe. So you can see here, I'm gonna slide this down for just a second. So you can see the cheese here. That was an 8-ounce block of cheese. I'm not using the full amount of cheese. So if you know that fat is one of your dietary stresses, we all need a little bit of good fat in our diets, of course, to fuel our body and then also help with our hormones. Great. Otherwise, this is medium cheddar off the block. So you want to make sure that you watch the ingredients and make sure that the only thing that is in your cheese is milk, cultures, and enzymes. So that's why we get cheese in the deli section, not in the dairy section. So this is going to be a great combination of good fat, good carb, and good protein. So we need a lot of calories to fuel our body throughout the day. I commonly hear people say, oh my gosh, if I ate that. Remember, it's about portion control and it's about how active you are. So trust me when I say all of the recipes on the blog, I eat them and still maintain my weight. All right, so there we have that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna slowly pour over the egg and milk mixture over all the ingredients. We are then going to bake this at 350 in your oven. It's gonna take approximately 35 to 40 minutes for these eggs to set, depending upon how hot your oven gets. I have a gas oven, so it gets pretty hot, as you can imagine. So I'm just gonna set a timer for about 25 minutes and then check it about every 5 minutes from there. So I'm gonna shake this up. And the nice thing about this is you can actually make this ahead with those frozen cauliflower florets, or if you're not a fan of cauliflower, add in broccoli. Broccoli would be excellent in this recipe. So with it frozen, you can actually make this ahead, put a little bit of aluminum foil, or if you have one of those plastic wrappers to go around the dish, put it in the refrigerator, and then the next morning, put it in the oven, and there is your Sunday brunch, if you wish. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week. Please stay safe and healthy. Enjoy.